Hello my friends and welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Let's Play Series Part 148. So first I'm gonna go through the news, but before I do, as always I'm gonna say the intro. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that notification bell for regular content. You can select the bell and ring it for once you subscribe, you'll see a bell, and then you can go back, click the bell or click inside the subscribe. I think that's how you do it. You click inside of the subscribe, don't you? How do you do it again?
We're doing a tier list of all.
Hold on. Yeah, you click inside of the subscribe. Don't worry, if you click inside the subscribe, I think before it used to be unsubscribe, but now this time, it's listed within the bell icons. I think that's why sometimes I get confused, because I think before how YouTube did it was that you clicked the subscribe and you unsubscribe, or maybe again to unsubscribe, or maybe I'm thinking of the thumbs up button, because I know if you click the thumbs up again after you like it, or the thumbs down after you dislike it. Please don't click the thumbs down though, I could really use all the thumbs up I can get. But yeah, if you click the the subscribe, it won't unsubscribe you. What it'll do instead, it will open up a scroll down, well, kind of a scroll down thing. It's kind of like a button that just gives you options. And one of the options is to select all, which will notify you of all my videos. Personalized, to notify you of only the videos that you watch the most. Both of those are somewhat the same, because they both notify you of mostly Master Duel, since that's what I'm doing. But maybe later you might want to change it, but I'm probably sticking to one game a day, so if you only really care for the game as a whole, then maybe just save yourself the trouble and click all. But it still might be good to select personalized, just in case, because there might be like one-off videos that I do that you might not necessarily like within the realm of even that game. But anyway, none notifies you of none of my videos. Good if you're trying to wait out for a new video, and I will do a post when I'm going into a new game. But it's also good if you're just like someone who wants to subscribe to me to be nice, or just to try to help me get to the... Apparently, I guess you can start getting monetized maybe before 1,000. But I really did think it was 1,000, so I'll have to see. I don't think I'm given the option yet. I feel like it'll be obvious once you're given the option. I see other people going into like their videos, like maybe like as in line of like a tutorial or something, and I see like that they have an option to get monetized that I don't have. So I feel like it would be obvious. So yeah, I don't think I have that just yet. And then unsubscribe is also there, but please do not click on that, because I could really use the subscriptions at the moment. Maybe later on when it hurts less, but for now, if you're gonna subscribe, please just stay subscribed, because if you unsubscribe, it may kind of look bad for other people, and it's definitely a lot more noticeable. Well, have like less than like 100 even. Like, I know with like 5K, like you may not notice it very much, or maybe 5.1K, like 5.111K, something like that, you may not notice it very much, because if like you go down to 5.110, I don't think it's very easy to see unless you like actually go somewhere. So yeah, it's probably difficult, but right now it's easy, because like right now it shows all of the subscribers, like the whole count. But yeah, I know at a certain point it may not be super easy, but right now it is. Just to let you know. I guess I spent a little bit talking about that. Anyway, I guess today's intro was a little long, but I hope I gave you a lot of good advice, still good knowledge. Anyway, so this is kind of nothing. I guess what they did is they changed it so that it's always USD. So I don't know what that means for other countries or states that don't use USD. I guess you're just gonna have to get yourself some US dollars or something. Or I'm sure you can exchange it. It might not be the easiest thing in the world to exchange it, but I hope it's not too much trouble for those of you who still want to pay. And if worse comes to worse, you can always maybe just not pay for the game. Like, it's easy enough to still play if you don't pay for the game. Or you can just, I guess, switch to a different Yu-Gi-Oh game. Although this is like really the only official, like, one that most closely follows the TCG. Though I guess Duel Links is probably the closest backup alternative. Although, like, that is kind of weird in its rulings. I know. I'm not sure like how Duel Links handles currencies though. Yeah. Anyway, next one. I know it doesn't affect me at all since for one, I already use USD, and for another, I don't even pay for the game anyway. But that's why I'm saying, like, it's not that much of a necessity to pay for the game. Anyway, this is another Duelist Cup. It gives some changes, but I think it's mostly changes to if you can, like, score highly, which I'm not, so it doesn't matter to me. But maybe it matters to some of you guys. Hey, if I'm getting someone who's, like, this high up, who actually cares about, like, this higher stuff like this, and hey, like, that makes me feel pretty good. Maybe you can even give advice to a lot of the commenters, to a lot of the other people who see the comments, because I'm sure a lot of people who are watching are not as skilled as you may be. But yeah, congratulations to anyone if, like, they're planning to try to go all the way. And or maybe if they have in the past, like, I guess advanced congratulations, or sorry if you don't make it. I know it's pretty difficult, and sometimes it just feels unfair because if you don't make it because you're just not playing as much as someone else. Yeah, and then another gem sale. Maybe they're doing this gem sale to kind of get people ready for the USD change, and so maybe, like, buy your gems while you can still maybe get it for non-USD. I think you can, yeah. So if that's the case, maybe get them now for non-USD if you can, and then once they change it, you'll already be stocked up on gems. And yeah. And then Flame of Fury, this is the one with Cashier. If you just want to play the best deck, definitely try to go for Cashier. Because Cashier, I think right now, is pretty much the best deck of this format at least. So if you want an easy master rank, maybe just go for Cashier. I don't think I care enough, so I'm probably not going to go for Cashier. Along with, I only have 4,000 gems. You probably want to be maxed out on gems or something. Maybe even have a few in gift box that aren't expiring. And then at that point, maybe you can go for Cashier and have a lot of hope that you can get most of the cards, like, without having to craft a whole bunch at the end. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to go for it. It's really expensive, but it is really good, so it's worth it. I guess if you could say it's worth it. I mean, you probably won't be able to get up. Maybe if you can go to Master Rank 2 seasons. Then again, even then, I'm not sure if you'll be getting more gems than you actually spent. Not. It might. Maybe 3. I don't know. If it can even last 3 seasons in its current state. I'm not sure when they're gonna actually be hitting Cashier further. But I think even with the hits, it should still be probably the best deck of the format. Just because it's so good. Rise Heart is so good. Rise Heart really helps make the deck. And then Gish Keys also, not too bad. Especially since you can combine the Gish Keys with the sprites. But whenever, Gish Keys sprites I don't think really ever made it too much in the TCG. So I'm not sure how much it'll make it in Master. But it's not a bad, deck if you know how to maneuver it correctly. And it's not a bad deck to rank up with. Definitely not the hardest deck to rank up with, not by a long shot, as long as you play it correctly. I mean, that goes for most decks, even maybe the better decks. But of course, the better decks you'll probably have an even easier time ranking up with, because that's why they're so good, because you can still make mistakes and rank up even. Still. And then Rescue Ace is a pretty fun one, but this is probably one of the least powerful archetypes in here. Prediction Princess might actually be a little weaker. I don't know. And then Thrust is a good, just in general card. But if you're only really going for Thrust, probably better to just craft it. And then you can just wait until you actually do need it to craft it. I mean, if you only plan to craft it, you can always craft it after the pack leaves, because it won't make it so that you can't craft it just because of pack leaves. Yeah. And then, but yeah, definitely decide if you just want to craft the triple tactics or go for one of the archetypes. You have a lot of time, but like, it's probably better to just go for the Thrust if you're already going for the other archetypes, just to save yourself a little CP. So yeah, definitely decide that beforehand. But it's not too bad if you like do craft the Thrust and then later on you decide you want to go for the archetypes. But you do waste a little bit of CP that way. And then here's a new secret pack. So of course, since this is a new secret pack, you have access to one free pack, which is pretty nice. I really like how like you now get the option of being able to open a free pack without having to actually craft any of these cards in order to get that. I mean, you may not get just a bunch of trash, but you may get a really good card that you might want to use later on. And if nothing else, you could always dismantle it for a little extra CP. But you might just want to hang on to it, just in case one of the cards like that you pick up that's like an SR on a UR does get hit, because then you get extra CP. So, new accessories. So, if you're into Labyrinth, here's a few not Labyrinth, is this for Labyrinth? No, I think this is more for Cashier. Can't tell if this is for... I think this is for Cashier, but maybe it's just for the Archfiends. Is this for Archfiends? I think it's for Archfiends. It says Archfiend. Yeah, it looks like this one is for Archfiends. So, that's like an older archetype, but maybe some people really do like the older archetypes. So that's probably good for those people. The people who like the Cashier maybe have a sleeve that they can also get if they decide to. And then if you're into Rescue Ace, both of these could be good for that, since Rescue Ace features a lot of fire type or fire attribute monsters. But you can also get this if you're playing like any of the heavy fire deck, and then you can always like change it up depending on the deck you're playing. Also, card case goes well with fire attribute decks or Rescue Ace. That's cool. And then looks like secret pack number recall has been updated. So now since I think it's because these got unbanned, maybe. Oh. Oh, Diablo, sis, I didn't realize he got banned, literally in the last list. It makes sense because of Cashier, but... So, they did change a few. I'm not sure if they're gonna allow you to get packs, free packs because of that or not. Because they did take out one and put a few in, and one of them's a rare, so it kind of just balances out. I mean, I guess, like, it's a Yuan 7 SR now that they put in. That might just be even better, though. I mean, but I don't know. I guess it makes it a little bit wonky, but, like, it's pretty much balanced out. I think URs and SRs are both fairly hard to get. A lot of within secret packs. And then, the Scareclaw secret pack got updated a little bit. Mostly with rares, but also Scareclaw Cashier. So that could be a... Scareclaw Cashier is actually a pretty good card for Scareclaw as well, so... If you're playing Scareclaw, you might want to consider picking up that Scareclaw Cashier. How much you want to invest into secret pack is up to you, I guess it depends on how many Scareclaws you already got from that secret pack. Otherwise, maybe you could just craft the Scareclaw Cashier instead. Because I'm not sure how much more you would need from it. I'm not sure how many cards from that secret pack Cashier would need. Because they're probably not going to be using much of the Scareclaw cards besides the Scareclaw Cashier. And then Insect Metamorphosis also got a little bit updated with one new card. And then they just updated a description a little bit. So there's a new description of that. There it is again if you want to read it. Pause and read it. Anyway. Issues. Purely and Purely. So there's a few issues with a Purely deck. But luckily that's being changed. Maybe if it's just like a big game breaking issue, I guess my suggestion would be maybe just play a different deck until it gets fixed, then you can go back to it. I'm not sure how many of these would actually be game breaking, but I mean that's a suggestion. Or maybe you take a few days off because it's probably going to be fixed before the season is over. I guess you do lose a few days, but maybe like just use a different deck to get the missions done and maybe like play a little less ranked until it does get fixed. If like you don't really have the option of just playing a different deck or you don't really want to do that, that's another option. It depends on how game breaking it really is. I'm not sure if any of these would be really game breaking. I think before I go into the solo mode, I'm gonna spend, I think, and this video is probably gonna be a bit longer. I think I'm spending like about 20 minutes here within the shop doing the secret pack opening, also showing off the cards a little bit. So here's a few of the other cards. So this is has a lot of Dark Lords, also has a lot of stuff for the Despia deck as well. Although this one might fit into other fairy decks as well. I guess if you're playing like a different fairy deck that maybe also happens to tribute summon to tribute fairies, it does help make tribute summoning a little bit easier in those kinds of decks. I mean, so if you're not playing a non-Dark Lord deck that also happens to have that, you could maybe consider adding it in. But I think otherwise, I'm not sure how good it is. Because it does have a Dark Lord-esque effect as well. And if you're not playing any Dark Lords, you may not get very much use out of it without the whole tribute summon thing. And then a lot of these like are very like Although a few of the Dark Lords could be good in other decks as well. Like a few of them have like generic enough effects that they can easily be good in other decks. But a few of the ones that are more generic are also like lower rarity. So you don't need to waste your time opening packs just for that. Here, I'll show you what it can get. I don't know what I'm really looking for here, but it looks like I did get a UR. Apparently I already had one of those. I'm not sure if people play more than one of these. But I'm not sure if I play either way. I did get a holo, but again, probably don't care too much. And of course I got the secret card pack. Doesn't really matter though if you happen to get it. I suppose what I'm not actually I think even if you wait until like there's a few hours left of this secret pack, I think if you open it and happen to get the secret pack again, which you probably will if you get just one SR UR from like your one pack opening. I mean, that's a little hard, but if you happen to get it, even if you happen to get it though, once it expires on the main page, it's not going to show up in the, I don't believe it shows up in the secret pack area. Yeah, no, once this, because this overrides the whole 2-day thing of secret pack. So even if it expires, it doesn't give you extra time, I believe. So yeah, it's, yeah. So if that's what you're thinking, that is unfortunately not how it works. Oh, maybe it's this one. Oh, I think that's why it showed an exclamation mark. Was this the one that I just recently got? Oh wait, no, that's the one that I recently opened. So, oh yeah, Rage of Chaos is the one with the I should have shown off that one. But yeah, Flame of Fury is the new secret pack. So here's a better look at it. Yeah, the Rise Heart really good. Just because like it banishes everything that would be sent to the graveyard, which a whole decks are annoyed about. That is like especially graveyard dependent decks. And the whole banishing thing just helps fuel its being able to attach a banish card to it as material. And once per chain too, so it can do that multiple times in a turn, which is pretty crazy. You can also just proc yourself by simply just activating really any card that's gonna send itself to the banish zone after it resolves. In quotes, because normally it would be sent to a graveyard, but because of its effect, it's banished instead. So yeah, literally like you could activate a compulse to send something back to the hand, and then it's gonna be banished because of its lingering ability. And then once it's banished, now you just get to attach it or any other banished card to it as material. It doesn't even have to be any of the cards that were banished within that activation. It can be literally any banished card. Yeah. And then once you get 3 materials on it, which shouldn't be too hard because of the whole like attaching cards to it, you should be able to activate this multiple times. At least that once per turn though, otherwise it would be kind of broken. Oh yeah, and by the way, that also procs its whole attach a banish card. So it's really like you're only detaching 2 because you get 1 back anyway as a material to this card. Craziness. And then Gishki, Zealgigas. I think a lot of these like may not be new. This one's new apparently. You can feel free to read them. This one is one of the new Gishkis. This is cool. Like it's actually a negate, so That's probably one of the biggest things that made them a little bit, helped Gishki's out a little bit with getting negates. And of course, Rescue Ace is kind of cool. I was almost making one, but then like I decided to stop after a little bit. A few of the cards were a little expensive, but like the deck was never too expensive in the TCG. And they're pretty cool. Like they can help like set things straight from the deck, which is nice to get around Ash. Set like spells and traps straight from the deck, destroying stuff. And I think a few of them might even be able to special summon monsters straight from the deck. And then these are a few more Cashier stuff. A few more Gishki stuff. Oh yeah, Thrust. This is kind of like triple tactics, but like only having one effect. So it's a little bit easier to use in a way if you don't really like the whole like having to choose between the three. This one simply you get to set a normal spell and trap directly from your deck. What's nice is that you can set the triple tactics talent from your deck, so you can basically play maybe less talents, and then this can be a way to get that while also like giving you like other answers. This is a nice way to maybe like make use of like if you want to make your maybe like side deck a little like, oh, I mean, you don't really play side deck, but like in the TCG I think that's how a lot of people are using it. Making the side deck maybe a little bit more narrow, like maybe with fewer of some types of cards, just because then they can like search it out in a way off of triple tactics Thrust, in a way where it couldn't be interrupted by an Ash. But unfortunately, if you do set a normal spell or trap, it does get around Ash, but you can't activate it. So you may just want to add it to your hand instead, but then they can Ash you at that point. Actually, I think they can Ash you anyway because of the whole like the possibility of it being able to add to your hand. So yeah, definitely adding to your hand is a lot better. I mean, unless it's like, I guess, a trap that can't be activated that turn anyway, then it doesn't really matter too much. And then Destructive Daruma Kamakin, also kind of nice. I guess this could be maybe a good card for Scareclaws, because I don't think they care if the defense position monsters are face up, face down. It won't affect their lengths, but unfortunately, it will affect their regular main deck monsters that won't, that kind of get their effects turned off when they're turned into face down. Although this could be a pretty nice card for ninjas as well. I think they like having face down monsters. Then if either, yeah. Oh wait, but it's gonna oh, but Scareclaw would have to send the links to the graveyard afterwards. So maybe it's bad for ninjas. Dynamundo. Interesting. This could maybe be a card that any kind of ritual deck could use. Big Eye is a nice reprint too. Maple Maiden could be a good, well, I'm not sure how good it is actually, but maybe if you're synchros. And then Gishki. The Gishki sprite does use more than just a level 2, by the way, so you might want to like make sure to check which cards to pick up, because it's not just going to be a level 2 guy that you're going to want. Prediction Prince, a few more Prediction Princess stuff. Part of the Forbidden Prey fun card, but not very good. Rescue Ace, if you have a way to like, but it might actually be pretty good with Prediction Princess though, because I believe they can actually special summon this. Rescue Ace Impulse, again, a few more Rescue Ace cards. I think since Rescue Ace has like a fairly small package, you're probably going to be wanting to run a few of each of this of each of this stuff pretty much, but probably not everything at 3. So might want to check that. And then Cashier, I think with the Cashier, I think they run like So I think whether or not you're playing Cashier or Scareclaw, you might want to pick up 1 or 2 anyway. I believe Cashier only plays 1 while Scareclaw might play 2. I'm not sure. I know Scareclaw plays 2 though. Likes to play 2 of that card. And then Teal'c's Cashier. Apparently Cashier doesn't even play this card. But if you're a Teal'c's player, you're going to want to play this. Although, do you still get the mill if they're not being sent to the graveyard? I'm not sure. I think you do, and then they just get banished. I don't see why it's really that bad. But I heard that like not a lot of Cashier decks really play it for whatever reason. And then this is you probably do want to definitely play the level 2 Gishkis. I'm not sure how many of the non-level 2s you play though. But of course like the rituals don't count as level 2s either. So you kind of have to play it right to make sure that you don't accidentally lock yourself out of being able to go into rituals when you would want to. So you gotta play a little bit smart, but once you get the hang of it, I don't think it's like the most complicated deck in the world. And then, yeah, a few more Scareclaw stuff. Waybridge, interesting card, but I'm not sure how good it is. And then rares and normals, you can like pretty much, it doesn't really matter like if you get the ratios wrong when it comes to a rare and normal, that shouldn't matter too much. But like maybe make sure you get the ratios correct before you like go and try to get like hollows of them or like royal finishes of them, especially because then it could get to be a little much. That's when you may want to check the ratios for rares and normals in a case like that. But if you don't really care, like you don't have to go for hollows if you don't want. But then like you'll just be left with a whole bunch of extra rare and normal CP all the time, especially if you open quite a few packs. And there will be times when you kind of want to open packs just so you can get rid of some of your gems before the excess ones expire. I think there's a few new ones. I think it's pretty much all in the recommended though. Oh yeah, here's them again. Here's a little bit of the angles of them. And then here's what looks like more up close, but I think I already showed it up close. And then here's this one. Pretty cool. That's what it looks like on the card. But yeah, in my personal opinion, it looks a lot cooler on the main screen, but a lot of people won't see it on the main screen while they'll see it on your title card. Boy. I may just do the secret pack later for because it is taking a little bit. I'm sorry. I spent a little bit extra time on everything in the shop, but hopefully a few of you got some good information from the shop section. But now I'll go into the solo mode so I can like maybe I'll just do the scenario. So I guess I can still do both. Scenario appearance card. Here's the card arts that are gonna show up within this story. You don't really need to know the effects too much because like they don't really play much of a role in the story. Although maybe it like kind of leads in with their lore. I don't know. The Sub-Terra Behemoth terrorize those who live in the subterranean world. I don't think the effects really shape their lore though. I mean, maybe a little bit. Many tales of these beasts have been told amongst the tribes that live there. Caves reinforced with hard bedrock can be found throughout the subterranean world. Much of its natural terrain, but part of it have been bored by those who live in this world. The feared being for those pioneers hide in places like rock faces and cliffs, the Sub-Terra Behemoth Stalagmo. Its body looks like it's made out of stone, and black mucus flows out from areas that appear to be its joints. Oh. Once that liquid gets hold of your body, there is no way to evade its attack. According to those who've seen Stalagmo, they were horrified by how agile the red-eyed chunk of rock can be. In this limited world, there are many other dragons that call the place their habitat. The Subterra behemoth Volturic is a dragon that can create thunderclouds inside the caves. I like how it's like flashing, so you get a feel for its electricity. This world also has flying creatures such as birds and flying dragons. Yeah, that's a pretty nice touch of flashing. But the Volturic has a distinctly different ecology to them. They have wings, but they don't flap them. Rather, they fly freely within the subterranean as if floating through the air. Its body is always enveloped in electricity, and anybody that approaches will be paralyzed or worse, killed. The sky is not the only dangerous place. Even deeper in the ground, dragons lurk. Digging through the ground with horns and claws is the Subterra behemoth Umastrix. Although its eyesight is poor, it can use its 5 pairs of whiskers to feel around. It is able to sense any hostile beings in its surroundings and hunt it down with persistence. I like how they're all like coming out through the ground, which resembles how they like flip face up. The Umastrix leaves behind a trail of abnormal sinkholes. Villages have been annihilated from being in the path of the wicked dragon. Sinkholes in its wake, probably. There are also volcanoes in this subterranean world. Volcanic ash paints the area gray, and anything the lava touches burns. In the volcanoes, there's a chance that a Subterra behemoth Ultramaphis might lurk within. I think you can spell volcanoes either with no E or with an E after the O. I think either way is fine. The Ultramaphis is a walking volcano. Hold on, I'm gonna let's go into log. Okay, the Ultramaphis is a walking volcano that envelops hot magma. However, it is not always active and may be dormant for certain periods. There you go. The ecology of this dragon and natural volcanic activity cannot be linked together. But for the tribes that live near volcanoes, the correlation is obvious. Volcanic eruptions are a sign that the Ultramaphis is awakening, they claim. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the main part. But for those of you who want to stay for the secret pack, I can show off that by collecting the gold here. Yeah, I do get these. The continuous spell. Not sure how good this really is though. I mean, you have to have it be destroyed by an opponent's card effect, which isn't always going to be the case. And I feel like the other card just gives a better job giving the Subterras more attack and defense. This does affect more than just Subterras though. But I haven't really been seeing this played very much. Oh, this is the... Oh, it's another one. You know what? Maybe I'll just... I don't think I can go out. I didn't realize it was another story. That's fine. Even the subterranean world was an important resource. It provides sustenance to the flora and fauna of the underground. One of the sources of said water is a huge underground lake. there lives the lord of the lake named Subterra Behemoth Stygo Kraken. When it looks in the lake bed, it is difficult even for aquatic creatures to see through its camouflage. In motion, its four horns emit red light. It only takes an instant to devour its prey. But still, it's underwater, so it's still fitting that, like, it's face down because it's submerged. Because the lake is its habitat, it's a seemingly easy spot, but it is a highly elusive dragon. The bottom of the lake has a waterway that leads to another hidden area in the lake. There are many myths about the lake, but no one has been able to uncover them. The underworld has a range of climates, one of which is an icy field. The icy field is a stronghold of another dragon. That is the ice dragon, Subterra Behemoth Phosphio Glacier. Its entire body is covered with ice. The torso has a glowing sphere that glows as if it embodies the radiance of life. Fascinated by its glorious appearance, many have lost their lives getting too close to it. The sentient race that built this city build graves and mourn the dead. In a world of danger, will death give us peace we long for? Subterra Behemoth Dragosaur makes the living ask such questions. Even in death, the wicked dragon continues to move as a skeleton. According to one legend, it is said that the Dragosaur eats the souls of the dead. Occasionally its body would faintly glow red with the lament of a soul that is consumed. Finally, there is a legendary dragon that sits atop the previous 7. The wicked Dragon King Subterra Behemoth Speleogeist. Compared to the other dragons, there is no accurate description of the wicked dragon. One legend says, like an evil spirit full of darkness, the Dragon King rules this world. Another legend says the king prevents other dragons from expanding their territories. Others say the wicked dragons bring upon calamity to display their might to the king. Needless to say, the lore of the dragon is shrouded in mystery. The inhabitants of the underground live in fear every day, while hoping to one day escape these calamities. Someday someone will stand up and defeat the calamities. They live with a faint glimmer of hope that a hero will arrive one day. Yeah, so there's that. Cool. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and check out the secret pack. And for those of you who were pretty much in it for the solo mode alone, you can feel free to leave if you'd like. But on your way out, once again, please like, share, and subscribe. Remember, all is for all of my videos. None is going to be for none, to be notified of none of my videos. And personalized is to be notified of the videos like the most. And in order to do so, to click the bell properly, just click the subscribe once you already subscribed. You cannot, you do not see the bell until you actually subscribe. So subscribing is something you need to do if you want to stop being notified. And I also would greatly appreciate you leaving a like too. and maybe even commenting. And then here's what the cards look like. So this shows off. So it has generators and sub-tiers. I believe there's also a generator. Yeah. There's a generator solo mode also, so you do have multiple chances. You can either get this secret pack from the generator solo mode or the sub-tier. So if you accidentally do one, at least you have another chance. Yeah. And then cataclysmic monsters also. I don't know what archetype. Apparently they're their own separate archetype, so you might even have a third chance if there gets to be a cataclysmic solo mode gate someday. Because I think they're part of a different archetype. And then there's the cards. You can feel free to pause, maybe have me go slower and maybe like pause on the cards you want to actually read. But I think I want to do the legacy pack now. So if you're not interested in that, you can feel free to leave now. But yeah, I do want to do a legacy pack because I still want to see if I can pick up that mosquito card. And I do have a pretty good chance, but doesn't look like I did. Though I did get my third Crooked Cook, but I don't think I really needed a third Crooked Cook. So not the greatest, but I didn't get what I was looking for. I don't think any of these cards I'm probably going to be really using anytime soon. And then you actually get a ton of SRs and URs for a 100 card pack. Then again, you only get a few cards per pack. So I think the chances are, and I think the chance of getting an SR UR is a little lower in a legacy pack. And of course you don't have the whole like, if you don't get any, you're guaranteed more in the next several packs. So I guess it could technically be times where you could open 100 and get absolutely no SRs URs, but like that chance is still gonna be pretty low, even with the guarantee thing or something. Yeah, and I did get a few hollows, which are kind of nice, but yeah, I'll go through these. Yeah, Crooked Cook is nice if you're planning to use like a little bit of like a stall tactic with him. I'm not sure if that's the best way to play. Not just because, I'm not just saying that because it's annoying and I don't want as many people to try to play like more annoying decks for the opponents, but also it takes a while. And in the amount of time you win with like a Crooked Cook deck, you could just play like various other decks that like get you quicker wins. And a few of those decks are probably budget, so I don't think the Crooked Cook deck is even that budget either. So I mean, if you're looking for budget, like I'm not sure how good like of a choice that would be. Like but I bet there are budget decks that you can win pretty quickly with. I mean, you might have to have a bit more skill because the more expensive decks are gonna be more expensive, probably for a reason. Like catch tier, like most of the decks that are higher in the meta are probably gonna be the more expensive decks because Konami knows what they're doing. They know what people want. That's not usually as true for festivals though, which is good. Because there are times in festivals where you can get more budget decks. But I think if like a deck is too budget, they might want to like tone it down a little bit. I don't know. If it's too budget and too good, they might like think that's a problem. Even with festivals. It is nice that like they have like a balance of like more competitive festivals and lower level like festivals and dual trial stuff, so that's pretty nice too. Anyway, I guess if I had to pick my favorite card, the one that I enjoyed picking up the most, I don't know, they're all kind of bad. I guess I have to go with one of the SRs since, I mean, I could easily just craft the rares anyway. I don't know, they're all kind of bad. I guess finishing up a few playsets nice, even if like I don't really care too much. I guess Prime Material, it's nice having a playset of that, because at least with that being a main deck monster, maybe it's nice to have a playset of that. It means a little bit more, because you'll always have access to the cook, while maybe you have to like, even searching this up could be a little bit hard if you can't get to search card right away, and you might still want to have 3, maybe just for maybe then you don't have to necessarily search it. Anyway, and also getting a few hollows are kind of cool, even if they're just hollows of like cards I don't really use. Amulet of Ambition is kind of cool remembrance for, because I played this for a little bit. I also played Wetlands for a little bit when I was playing the Paleozoic deck and Duel Links, back when I was playing Duel Links. That was probably one of the latest decks I was playing. But then I think I switched to, or was it after I was done with playing the Blue Eyes? I'm not sure. Anyway, if you want to give me some facts about any of these cards, maybe theories, or just tell me what your favorite is. Maybe you can go over your favorite rare, normal, super rare. You can feel free. And if you want to just say what your favorite is based on artwork, that's fine too. Or maybe some goofs. You could say some goofs with artwork if there's any like things that maybe they messed up on. I'm not sure if they generally do that, but maybe sometimes. I mean, no company is probably going to be perfect all the time. Anyway, bye everyone. I don't want to run into time, so I gotta go. See ya.